This is called Years Back, Unleashing of the CRAP. So, my son went to a new school, he was in a new class, only very young. And we got told, and I got told from the teacher, there was a boy there that had been in the previous school, and the teacher, whoever the teacher was at that school, had done awful things to the whole class, and they were part of a case that was ongoing, and just to be aware of that. So my heart went out to the child. I didn't know who the child was at that point. I just was aware that he was within the class, and we had been warned that had happened, and just to be very kind, which we all are. We all are. But my son was entering that class, so someone let us all know about that. Anyway, so I believed all that. So eventually I didn't know, and then eventually I got friendly with the parent of that young boy, Lynn. The lady was called Lynn. Apparently it happened, previously, a year or 2 years previously, before we'd even, Dale had even got to that class. I in no way was involved in any of that. If that was ever true, I'm not quite sure that any of that was true now, because the circling around me and the contagious toxic lies for money, for someone thinking that down the line I wouldn't be alive and they could take. So I wanted to talk about that, wanted to say that she seemed devastated, the woman. When I used to talk to her, I believed everything she told me, and my heart went out to her and her son, Jordan. So, and I tried to support her in any way I could. I became friends with her. I didn't isolate her or because something bad had happened to her son, and she was or seemed to be very grieving and trying to consolidate her life in some way, to move forward and to fight the system for what she believed was letting her down. And so I thought she was very brave. I thought she was a great human for being like that and doing that and fighting on behalf of her son, for where it seemed, the story was the teacher had, was responsible for the harm of the children at that time. That was the story that was told to me. Anyway, so I just wanted to put that out there, because there's been many tags around me, lots of falsehoods, false stories, to cover basically what was going on around me. And a lot were involved. Horrendous stories, So the truth will come out. I think that it needs to. I'm wearing this for those that will gather the truth and get to the crux of what's been going on around me for years, so that we're all freer. So that we all can have free, wonderful lives, that none of us have to, be deprived of good lives because someone or a group decides to spread vicious stories. And a lot of those stories weren't even true. I'm not saying it's not true what was told to me, but all I'm saying is around me there's been a lot of untruths. All right? And I'm trying to bring it all out there, everything, so that if there's one day someone needs to talk to me about anything, I'm open for them to talk to me about anything that I've talked about, because my life has been an open book for many, but it's also been an open act of toxicness, where they have acted coercively around me, unbeknownst to me most of the time, but it's been savage in the false story, and so many. It's come at a cost to people's lives, people's careers, lost loved ones, and so much more. So today I'm wearing this purple as a representation of those who will not stop but get to the bottom of everything around me, so that justice can be served and people can be free, freer than they have been in years. Thank you. I'm freer today than yesterday.